Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the founder and lead investigator with Deep Woods Paranormal, along with my wife, Amanda. We investigate everything paranormal, be it ghosts, Bigfoot, UFOs, creepy dolls, and other things. Anything paranormal in nature, aliens, UFOs, and that kind of stuff. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them. They have many names. So, anyways, on this paranormal podcast, we basically talk about anything paranormal. As long as it's paranormal in nature, we discuss it. It could be ghosts, could be UFOs, could be things that are happening in a house. Could be our current cases and stuff like that. I apologize. I got a sick dog. I don't know where she's at, but she's sounds pretty creepy when she coughs like that. Sitting on the little. If you're watching this, sitting on the pillow behind me on the couch, there is Mr. Zeus. And then the rest of the dogs, that's Tink. Unfortunately, she's a little bit sick right now, so we're trying to get her through that. Anyways, if you're looking at the lineup of dolls behind me that look like they're about ready to tackle me, yes, those are haunted dolls. We've been collecting them from different places and just kind of trying to feel if they have any kind of energy to them and bringing them home. And some of them have been here for quite a while, over a year now. Some of them have only been here a couple months. Since we brought them home, the one in the box, you can't quite see her face, unfortunately. I told her I would fix that, but I'm not going to. Anyways, we're going to be doing a investigation with them. I know I've talked about this multiple times, but I'm going to set up some EM pumps. And if you don't know what an EM pump is, it's just energy. Basically pumps energy into the atmosphere and allows them to manipulate that energy and hopefully create some kind of a voice on an audio recorder, a video. Maybe they move a little bit. Maybe they talk through the spirit box. Maybe they light up a K2. Who knows? But I'm going to be this weekend, I think Friday morning, I'm going to set up a bunch of EM pumps back there, really energize the atmosphere in the office only. I don't condemn anybody for investigating their own home. Normally we don't do it, but this is an experiment. We want to see what and if anything the dolls can do. Is that one? Oh man. So the one in the box is the creepiest. And I apologize to her earlier for saying that, but if when you guys watch that video, we're going to start doing more shorts. We're also going to be doing some lives. If you guys want us to do a live with the dolls, let us know in the comments below, and then we'll set up a time and a date to do that. We have, like I said it before, I've said this the last two podcasts, we have a whole bunch of investigations coming up. We've been working in the background. The last month and a half has been just absolutely crazy. If you're seeing the string or whatever on that doll move, that's because the fan's on above us, the ceiling fan. So that's not possibly her moving or anything. It's just because the fan's on, FYI. Anyways, like I was saying, the one that's in the box, when we start to record, we'll have a we'll turn it so you can see her face. In fact, I may take her out of there. I've got a stand for her as well. All of them except for her are on a stand right now. And because I just kind of like her in the box, to be honest with you. I think it just adds to the creepy factor. But anyways, if you watch her and you kind of move around the room, you kind of watch her eyes follow you. It's a little unnerving, and I've been doing this a long time. I've seen a lot of things, but dolls don't creep me out, but it's creepy that her eyes that are set, they're not, physically able to move. Her eyes, her pupil, her eyeballs seem to move and follow you around the room. And since we brought these dolls home, we haven't had a lot of new activity. This house does not have a whole lot of activity, but we've had some playful things. I've seen, if you guys have watched the podcasts, you've seen the little spirit that kind of ducks around the corner in the hallway there. If you're watching out the door, I guess it'd be your guys's. If you're looking straight at the video, I guess it'd be to your right. You'll see the light socket on the wall up there. There's a shadowy figure that likes to peer around the corner, and it's just at the bottom level of that light switch. So, anyways, yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Sometimes there's movement. Sometimes we'll hear noises here. Now, I've got 5 dogs and 3 cats. So, any movement or anything like that, any noises, more than likely is going to probably be them. You can hear a clink of one of the dog's collars right now. So, anyways, just want to make sure we keep this real. Don't want any false positives. We want to just make sure if there is any evidence, that it's genuine and it's not, oh, well, I think I heard this or I think I heard that. We got to have some kind of solid proof of it. All right. So I've got some other quick things to share with you guys, and then we'll come back and talk more about these dolls behind me. All right. So this podcast is going to be mainly about haunted dolls. So if you're not interested in listening to information about haunted dolls, or here for the Bigfoot research, I'm going to be doing another podcast, hopefully right after this one. I'll get you guys a Bigfoot podcast. We'll take a look at some stuff going on right now. I've got some new information, some new areas I'm researching. So I'm going to be, I'll talk about that in just a second. We have, just like I said before in the last podcast, I wasn't able to do the video of that, so I want to show you guys some cool stuff. So let me share my screen with you guys, if I can figure out how to do this again. Sorry, I haven't been in the office for like 2 or 3 weeks, just because I've had to work with them, and I've had the opportunity to work with my wife. She's amazing. She's super smart. She is amazing at all administrative stuff. And so she's helping me in the background. We've had the opportunity to bring a few cool new people in that are helping us with marketing and other cool stuff. And hopefully we're going to have a camera person, which I'm really hoping for the show, so that we can actually just do the investigation and not have to stop every 5 minutes and move a camera or do this or get the right angles or whatever. We'll have more real life look to it. So, like I said, the reason this show has not come out yet, I know I keep teasing you guys about it. Exploring the Unknown with Matt and Amanda. We'll be on a Rumble channel, we'll be on YouTube channel, and like I said, if it does well, we'll put it somewhere else. Maybe we'll even get picked up. That's the ultimate goal, of course, of everybody who's doing paranormal research. But anyways, the ultimate goal is basically to get this show going and have it be successful, and then maybe start shooting other different types of shows besides paranormal. Amanda, if you don't know, Amanda and I are producers now. I've been in the field for about 30 years. Amanda's been with me that whole time, researching different things. In fact, I've lived with a paranormal associate actually most of my life. I think almost, since I was born, pretty much I've had paranormal experiences. So has she. So has she. I can't talk. Hold on a second. Let me grab a sip of my coffee. Anyways, sorry about that. We have a new little kitten that decided to come home with me. I don't know where he came from. He essentially, I think he rode underneath where the spare tire was on my truck with me from work, from Hearn. I got out of the car one night and I was offloading my stuff, putting it in the house. I went back out to close the door. Meow, 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 meow. Like, what is that? So, yeah, now we've got another cat on our hands. he's he's really interesting. Maybe one of these days, if he'll come in here, I'll show him to you. But another black cat with green eyes, and another rescue. But yeah, we on the side we kind of rescue and rehome animals, just if you guys didn't know. So that's just something we enjoy doing when we can, financially and stuff like that, and able to put, bring another animal in. You've got 8 of them in there already, so we can't do that too often anymore. Anyways, sorry for rambling on. I just want to take care of any bookkeeping I need to do here. So yeah, let's get on to, let's see, let me share my screen with you if I can figure out how to do this. Stop sharing. Share screen. Here we go. God, that was hard. All right. Okay, so if you don't know where we're at, we're actually on Facebook. We've been on Facebook for quite a while. We've gone up quite a few followers and likes on our Deep Woods Paranormal page here on Facebook. We've been on here for a long time. I think the last page I had, if you've heard me talk about the whole alien UFO dilemma that I had with posting pictures of possible flying saucers that one night and basically losing both my YouTube and my Facebook page at the same time, and then having my computer kind of pretty much wiped and then destroyed. So it went up in smoke, which was fun. But that was about 10 years ago. So yeah, maybe it's longer than that. Anyways, this is our Deep Woods Paranormal page. And yes, there is a reason I brought you on here. If you're not part of our Deep Woods Paranormal group on Facebook, please go ahead and feel free to look us up. The link is in the description below to everything I'm going to show you. And you guys can go through and click on that and ask to become a member. 99.9% people will let in, as long as you're not basically doing anything crazy or whatever. This is our puppies here. This is Miss Tink and Mr. Shorty. He sees ghosts. I call them the twins, but Tink is about 13, 14 years old. And then Shorty is a rescue from Joe's camp. He was just a puppy. He was about smaller than Tink when we got him, and essentially brought him home. We also have Chance and Mama Dog, who is his mom, who's Shorty's mom. But I wanted to bring you guys to this post. I wanted to show you this new awesome, cool thing that we have. Of course, this is our truck, but we got a RV, and I think I kind of talked about this last time, but I didn't really show you. Last weekend, we had the opportunity to take it out and to try it out at Lake Bryan, which was awesome. Just want to thank all the people that work at Lake Bryan. They were extremely helpful, trying to help us figure out how to get in and where to go and all that stuff. Unfortunately, it was 111 degrees that day. It was just way too hot. So we didn't end up spending a whole weekend there, but we did spend Friday night there. We got everything set up. We will be renting this out if you're interested in renting out an RV for the weekend or during the week. So let me just go through the photos. This is pretty much the same photo. Let's go to the next one. It does have a slide out. Essentially, I got these pictures because I wanted to get the sunset in the background, but we were really lucky. We got a really nice shady spot. Now, I don't know if Lake Bryan is actually haunted. I know a few people have drowned here. At least a few people have drowned here. And other people have gotten sick from the brain disease that you can get from basically the water here. And again, it's 0.01%. Sorry about that. It's like 0.01% that actually get that. So don't worry about going in Lake Bryan. Just be careful if you go there. Anyways, so yeah, here's the beautiful sunset that we were watching. This is where we camped. And then this is our trailer, has an awning. It's 50 amp. So yeah, we have this is Amanda looks like a ghost. She didn't like this photo, but she looks like a ghost. And you can see it's about 30 feet long. So this will the whole reason I brought you this post is because it's going to open up opportunities for us to go other places. I think we have investigations scheduled, lockdowns, not investigation, lockdowns, 2-night lockdowns at I've talked about this multiple times, but I'll just quickly go back over it again for our newer listeners. 2 old jails, one that actually is in a old ghost town, which is cool. It's got a haunted school, haunted train depot, haunted post office, and of course there's the jail. And then they hung like I think it was over 400 people at that location. So yeah, that's cool. And then people keep asking me, if you're on our video podcast, where can I just listen to the audio? Well, you can do it. You can listen to the audio both on our YouTube and Rumble channel. I do post just the audio if you guys are interested in listening to that, or maybe you're listening to it now. But if you want to come over here again, the link's in the description. This is kind of, if you're watching this, all of our links. Here's our normal podcast. Here's our webpage. If you want to go there, our podcasts are there as well. So our audio podcasts. And then let's see. So our podcast website is basically our Deep Woods Paranormal website. If you want to buy us a coffee, we're happy to have you basically buy us a coffee. Anything that gets donated to us, be it gear or money or donations of any type, go to basically upgrading gear and continuing our research. We are a very serious research team. We are 100% real. We don't fake any evidence or anything like that. If you're interested in going to Manscaped, the discount code's here. You can click on that link if you're not sure what that is. Again, our Facebook page. We do have a Twitter account, and then of course YouTube and Rumble, and then TikTok. We do have a TikTok page. I apologize, we have not updated that page in quite a while, just because I wasn't sure what was going to happen to TikTok, and now all that basically sounds like it's died down. So I will start doing more clips to go on to TikTok for you guys as well. We are on LinkedIn and Instagram. I just posted some stuff over on Instagram yesterday. So if you're interested, and then on the right side here is a list of some of the places that we're on. For some reason, the Apple Podcast, I guess last year, I didn't even know it, stopped transmitting our podcasts. So now I've just updated the listing, and actually I was working with somebody on marketing for it, and for some reason it just clicked off. Anyway, so this is all the places we're at. We're basically on iHeartRadio. We're on speaker on iHeartRadio. Okay, so let's get into what you guys came here for. Let's talk about the haunted dolls real quick. So Annabelle, you guys have all seen the movie, the Conjuring. I'm sure if you're into the paranormal, you've probably seen the Conjuring. Really love all those films. I have not seen the new ones, so don't spoil it for me yet. If you're down in the comments, please don't tell me what happens or whatever. I want to find out for myself. So basically the real Annabelle, I can't read this because there's now YouTube and Rumble are basically being funny about doing plagiarism. And if you don't know plagiarism, it just means basically copying and pasting or reading exact words off of somebody else's site for your own gain, pretty much. And I just don't want to do that. I don't want to have any issues with YouTube or Rumble or anybody else. So anyways, Annabelle was a really creepy doll. She's actually a Raggedy Ann doll, which is cool. Supposedly, let's see, I'm going to read part of this. Let's see. She was a real life doll, and I'm going to kind of put it in my own words. She made herself a name in the 1970s. She was given to a nursing student. Her name was Donna by her mom, and Donna and her roommate, Angie, would often return home to discover that the doll had changed positions and or it moved rooms. They also found notes and handwritten stuff on parchment paper, and it was asking for help. So if you know Ed and Lorraine Warren, they were heavily involved in basically studying this doll. At the end, they basically took the doll. You had a room full of different haunted objects that basically they guarded, and I do say guarded, because you got to be really careful as I sit here with 6 or 7 haunted dolls behind me, and there's probably more haunted objects in this room, but nothing's threatening here, nothing's scary, nothing's gonna hurt anybody that I know of. Okay, so this is one I had not heard of. Looks like a Japanese doll. Yeah. Akiu? I can't pronounce this. It's Okiku. Aku. I'm guessing that's how you spell it, pronounce it. I apologize if I butchered that name. Feel free to butcher me in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. Please be nice in the comments, guys. I'm not perfect. So anyways, so basically she was purchased by a young man around the 1918s in Japan. And basically he took it home for his sister. And unfortunately his sister passed away from a severe case of the flu. It says the family created a shrine in her memory and put the doll near where the display was, the shrine was. They said that sometime in the future or later, they noticed the doll's hair which was originally had been cut short bob, um, had actually grown past its shoulders. And then they basically moved in 1938, and they basically took the dare, took the took the doll to a temple and basically left it there. And it says the hair continues to grow, which is crazy. So basically, maybe their daughter put her energy on that doll, to basically send them a sign that, maybe she's okay. You guys will have a link to this in the description, so you can see the two different pictures, and you can decide for yourself whether maybe somebody changed the hair out or what. So, okay, let's talk about Lily. So I'm not going to say anything about this person. So it says Lily was made during the during the 1800s in Germany, and it features real human hair. She was discovered by an antique dealer who took her home and then began to have recurring nightmares about a little girl who had a very bad accident. Um, so I guess the antiques owner sold her, and then on occasion, a customer's little girl spoke to the doll for three. Okay, it says on one occasion, a customer's little girl spoke to the doll for 3 hours, basically having an interaction with the doll. Let's see. She says that she was informed the prior the oh God, I cannot talk today. She was informed that the proprietor, that Lily, was a little girl that had been subject to extreme violence. Oh boy. So, and it basically says that people have felt like an immense energy radiating from her. So that's sad. You never want to hear that. I mean, we've been to several places that also had haunted dolls, and we've had like at the Baron, what was it called? The Behringer Hotel. They have a room full of dolls and toys and stuff for the kids that they have their spirit, their children's spirit. We have a bunch of stuff, kids' toys and stuff too, but we don't leave them out. So it's in the haunted, closet of doom behind me. But yeah, you never want to hear about a doll, basically being possessed or containing some of the energy from a child that went through severely bad situations. That usually tends to lead to the doll being more violent, being more aggressive, and acting out. Maybe not the doll itself, but the entity that's attached to the doll, acting out on some of their energy. This is a real famous one. I really like this one. I've seen several documentaries on Robert the Doll. Um, he was a very interesting one to me. If I could possess Robert, I actually would, believe it or not. I would bring him, maybe not into the house, but if we had an office or something, I would basically take him there and basically keep a camera on him. There is you can see the dolls behind me. There is a camera above us watching this whole office. So one of these days we may just live stream that so you guys can watch the office. You'll see the dogs go in and out and cats go in and out. We normally block the dogs out now because the cats, kind of one of the cats lives in here. So, all right. So it says Robert came to the Otto family of Key West, Florida in the early 1900s. He was a gift to their son Robert, and it says the boy and the doll became inseparable. They were often blamed for a lot of bad behavior, and it says the family alleged that the toy often seemed to change positions on its own. Again, I'm just rewording this because I don't want to get in trouble for plagiarism. They also claimed that their son was alone in his room, but they could hear different talking, like people were having conversation. He was having a conversation with somebody. Um, and they said the doll had a completely different voice than their son. It says after Eugene's death, which I'm guessing was their son, basically the doll was given to the East Martello Museum, and basically visitors. It says that visitors have taken pictures without permission, and they claim they have experienced bad things after they've left. It says Robert is surrounded by letters of apology and, basically apologizing for taking pictures of him. So essentially, Robert doesn't seem to like having his picture taken. He seems like he's very much into kids, although I think if I remember the documentary right, they, after his son died, basically the dad took the doll, put it in the attic, and then he started having interactions with the doll, and to the point where he and his wife separated or divorced or whatever, and ended up having to get rid of the doll completely because he was having interactions with it, and it basically was going to break up their relationship. So yeah, the paranormal can do that to you. Anyways, so Ruby, it basically says she's a porcelain doll, um, with a penchant for moving around, uh, basically from location to location. It says it's currently residing in the Traveling Museum of Paranormal and the Occult. They don't know where she came from. She just kind of came from strange places. It says her previous owner said she had originally belonged to a little girl um, that died while holding the toy. It says following the tragedy, she was passed down through. Okay, so basically she went through the family, person to person, until she basically was dropped off at this museum. And then basically it says that people often experience an overwhelming feeling of sorrow radiating from the doll. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, I can feel if I touch those dolls back there, I can feel energy sometimes, words pop into my head, stuff like that. And that's part of being sensitive or whatever you want to call it, mediumship, whatever. I don't really explore that side of the paranormal very much anymore. Like I said before, because I can't open myself up due to the fact that I clear homes and stuff like that, and it's fun to interact with human spirits, but when they when you're trying to get messages and stuff across, it's strange. That's why I really like getting audio and video and spirit box and all that stuff. I really like getting them to communicate on something I can say, hey, here's an audio clip, here's a video clip. This thing moved, this thing talked, this thing whatever. I don't like just, oh, I thought I heard a voice in my head. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if I'm sharing it with the world and I'm trying to prove my point, I really want to have tangible evidence that I can show to somebody and say, hey, look, can you hear this? Can you see this? Does this really move? Blah blah blah. Anyways, okay. So Letta, I've never heard of this one until today. And it says short for Let Me Out. It's a 200-year-old wooden doll with actual human hair. It was discovered beneath a house in Australia, and says that I was reckoning he. Let's see. Frequently he walks in the night time. We came in here as a new house, and I never heard so many strange things in my life. So essentially, they were having paranormal activity, hearing things move around and stuff like that, probably in the area where the doll was. So he said he found scuff marks on the floor of his home, and this was supposed to be a new home. And then things moved on their own. Um, so he basically was brought to different, multiple television interviews, and basically there's an Instagram page for him dedicated to the doll. So it doesn't really share a lot of activity about the doll himself, unfortunately. I like to read about different accounts that happen with these dolls and stuff like that. Just remember Hollywood and all that stuff. They like to over exaggerate things, you know what I mean? And it's awesome. It's fun to watch those movies and stuff like that, but that's, most of the time that's not how things happen in real life. Okay. So let me stop sharing my screen. All right. So again, the doll's behind us. Where do people are asking questions? So where did we get all these dolls? First off, we got I think this one here with the white blouse or the white apron or whatever that is. I think she was one of the very first ones we grabbed her at an estate sale, and they had a whole bin of them, bin of dolls. I looked through very carefully. When I picked her up, I kind of got an emotion of sadness, frustration, and a few other things. So I was like, okay, she's got some kind of energy to her. And so I held on to her as we walked around the house just to kind of get a feel for her. And as I walked around, I feel like she understood that I wasn't going to hurt her or anything like that, and that she would have a new chance at life. And now she's being proudly displayed behind me. Um, let's see, the other doll, the one that's kind of standing next to her I guess it would be the right, the one that's kind of has her head pointed down a little bit. I got her at one Goodwill. I got, let's see, which other one? The one that you're seeing in the very back one, back just below the dartboard. I got her also at another Goodwill. So that's three different locations. And the other three, actually, I think the other four that you're seeing, the ones that have they're a little bit more done up. Uh, and then, of course, the really nice one behind her, I got them at a church sale where basically people were, you know, hundreds of people were selling all kinds of stuff or donating everything to the church to basically be sold. I love going to those. Those are fun. It's fun to meet people and stuff like that. And sometimes we run into people we know. So, anyways, like I said, what I do is I pick them up, kind of give them a chance to see if there's any energy to them. And by energy, I mean when I pick them up, do I get anything off of them? Do I feel any emotional baggage? Do I feel like there's maybe a presence there, like a spirit or an energy? Um, I call them energy. I call spirits energy because they basically are. We're just energy, but we have a shell. They don't. Essentially, imagine just stepping out of yourself, just your soul stepping out of yourself. And I think that part of people's energy gets left on things, especially if they were loved and just basically just really enjoyed over time. I think that part of that person's soul or energy or whatever you want to call it gets left on that, like an imprint. And that imprint, if you give it energy, and this can go not to just haunted objects, but like if you go to a cemetery, let's say you lost somebody and you're grieving and stuff like that, and you're um at their gravestone and you're telling them how much you love them and stuff like that, they're going to stay for a while if they know that you're there to talk to them and stuff. They'll come back to that area. I guess I'm not supposed to tell you this. I'm getting goosebumps like crazy. But anyways, so like any object in here, I mean, there's a lot of different haunted objects in this room. I've shown them all to you guys before in previous podcasts, but Yeah, so essentially they just hold this energy of the person that possibly had them before, or multiple people. Maybe multiple people had them. Like we were talking about some of those dolls that a traumatic incident happened, or the doll they left next to the shrine. Essentially, the hair still is growing. And I think that basically was meant so that the parents could know that their kid was okay. So essentially that's just a sign. And these entities, that are attached to these dolls, they're playful. There's a couple that are playful. I've seen them, they've come out of here, which they're not supposed to do, but that's okay. As long as they're not hurting anything, hurting anyone, scaring the dogs or any animals or the cats. I don't mind if they kind of roam the house a little bit. I wouldn't want to be cooped up into a room either, or a box or whatever. So I don't mind if they're wandering around the house a little bit, as long as they're being behaved. You can see Zeus laying on the pillow behind me. He's just spoiled little brat, but in a good way. Um, he doesn't seem to be disturbed at all by the dolls, which is cool. So, and he gets upset at certain things. He's got a not a temperament, but he's got a strong personality. Let's just put it that way. All right, guys. So, upcoming, like I said, we're going to be doing an interview with the dolls behind me. We're going to try and use the spirit box and amplify this room with energy and allow them to have a voice. I don't know if they're going to talk or not. We might do some lives with them, just let them sit and leave the camera on behind me, move the chair out of the way so you guys can see them. Maybe turn them facing more towards the computer here and let them talk. And then we'll also do like K2 sessions with them and stuff like that. And then maybe, we can basically do like a live chat where you guys will be able to just chit chat with us. I want to start doing lives on the YouTube channel like once a week. We might do Facebook as well for our Facebook fans and go from there. But we've had a lot of new people say hi to us and wave at us and honk their horn at us as we drove by, especially this weekend in Lake Bryan. It was a pleasure to meet all you folks. I appreciate you guys waving and stuff. It was fun. So, like I said, we're gonna get this show up and off. Well, it's already going. It's just a lot of stuff going on. I think the show, I want to say by the end of the year, will be off the ground. We'll have 5 or 6 episodes, if not more, coming towards you. We might have to do parts, like part 1, part 2, just because I think we're gonna have so much video to show for our investigations. They're probably between a half an hour and an hour shows. If they're more than half an hour, I think we'll cut them off at half an hour and have part 2 or whatever. So, all right, guys, it's coming. We're working on it. Amanda and I are coordinating with several people. And again, I just want to thank all the business owners and other people that are allowing us to come in and do investigations at their locations and allowing us the opportunity to try and document what's going on. We'll also be doing Bigfoot research. We haven't forgotten about you guys. Our Bigfoot fans, like I said, I'll probably do another podcast after this if I can. Amanda's on our way home any minute here, so the dogs are going to go crazy once she walks in. So I got to get off this podcast, but I will do another podcast talking about updates on that. Right now, it's just so hot that the Bigfoot's 111 degrees. I mean, during the day, it's 92, 93 degrees in the middle of the night out here. It isn't till about 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the morning where it cools down into the 80s, like the mid 80s. And for me right now, that feels great. I love that. I'm loving the feeling of the 80s. But it sounds like we're going to have a pretty wet winter. And that'll give us an opportunity to really look for prints and footprints and stuff. So, all right, guys, I got to get off here. Amanda just pulled up. The dogs are going to go absolutely crazy. But I just want to thank everybody for your support and saying hi and subscribing and liking this video. There they go. All right. You guys have a good one, and we'll catch you on the next one.